Hello students, welcome back to the channel. So the thing that we will learn today is journal entries. So just a refresher of what we did last time is डेबिट बैलेंस अकाउंट्स एंड क्रेडिट बैलेंस अकाउंट्स. मतलब क्या क्या कौन सा अकाउंट्स डेबिट बैलेंस में आता है एंड कौन सा अकाउंट्स मेरा क्रेडिट बैलेंस होता है. So just as a refresher, assets and expenses are my debit balance accounts and the capital, equity, liabilities and revenues are my credit balance accounts. So these are few transactions that has happened in the month of January of 2025 while doing the business. So the first one is the business got started with a cash balance of 2 lakhs, and then there have been few transactions, and at the end of the month the salaries has been paid. So how will we do the journals for these entries? So the first entry that will be done is cash account debit to capital account. So why cash account debit? See, cash is a asset. Cash is an asset for us. And हम लोगों ने सीखा है कि अगर asset बढ़ता है so we will debit it, and capital is credited. Why capital is credited? क्योंकि capital is my liability in terms of liability, and to increase the capital balance we credit that transaction. So cash account debit to capital, the first entry of 2 lakhs. Now on 8th of January the transaction happened is a account has been opened with the ABC bank. So what has happened? So the entry will be बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट. यहाँ पे मेरा बैंक बैलेंस बढ़ रहा है, सो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट, एंड द क्रेडिट विल बी टू कैश अकाउंट. वाई टू कैश अकाउंट? बिकॉज मेरा अकाउंट से मैं पैसा निकल रहा है, सो देर इज अ deficit, there is a reduction in the balance of cash account, so cash account will be credited. Now the third entry that has happened in the month of January 12th is purchased goods on credit from XYZ fashion house. So यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है? So the entry will be purchase account debit. So purchase is kind of my expense, and to increase the balance of expenses we debit them. So purchase account debit, and this is a credit purchase. So मेरा creditors बढ़ा है. So अगर creditors बढ़ा है, so in that case we need to increase the credit balance. So to increase the credit balance we credit the account. So for that, to MS XYZ fashion houses, and this is how the transaction for the purchase is being done. Now the next entry is machinery purchase. So office machinery purchase of 20,000. So entry क्या रहेगा? Entry will be machinery account debit, because machinery is my asset. Increase in balance of asset is resulting into the debit. So machinery account debit to bank account. मतलब क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने पैसा मेरा अकाउंट से निकला है. So if there is a reduction in the bank balance, so in that case bank account needs to be credited. So that's the reason why machinery account debit to bank account. And then the next entry happened in the month of January 15th is rent being paid by bank. So entry क्या रहेगा? Rent account debit. Why? Because rent is an expense, and expense बढ़ाने के लिए we debit them to bank account. Similarly bank balance कम करने के लिए, since it is a debit account balance bank, and if we need to reduce it we need to credit that, so to bank account of 5,000. And then on the January 18th what has happened? There is a credit sales happened. So मतलब मैंने सामान उधार पे बेचा कस्टमर को. So वहाँ पे क्या हो गया? So पैसा तो नहीं मिला, लेकिन डेटर्स, my receivables got increased. मेरा डेटर्स बढ़ गया, and डेटर्स is a kind of asset. So again in that simple logic, MS Raju Brothers account is debited, and to increase the sales we credit the account. So the entry is MS Raju Brothers account debit to sales account, and the amount of 10,000 in that manner. Now if you look at the bottom you will see total CF, and the amount that is being highlighted is in single lined rows. You see at the very bottom. ये क्यों है? इस पेज पे मेरा टोटल जितना भी ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ उसका टोटल अमाउंट is that thing. Now what is this CF means? CF means carried forward. So मैं ये amount अपने next page पे carry forward कर रहा हूँ. So what will happen if I move to the next page? It will show like this. So the first thing that came up is total BF. यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? It is, that means टोटल ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड, मतलब मेरा लास्ट पेज पे जो मेरा कैरिड फॉरवर्ड बैलेंस था, दिस अमाउंट केम टू दिस नेक्स्ट पेज एज ए अमाउंट ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड, एंड मैंने वो अमाउंट वहाँ पे अपडेट कर दिया, द टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ द लास्ट पेज. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग दैट हैज हैपेंड इज ऑन द मंथ ऑफ January 20th is cash sales. So simple entry, cash account debit to sales account 15,000. Now हमने लास्ट शीट पे देखा था, लास्ट जब एंट्री हुआ था, दैट XYZ से हम लोगों ने क्रेडिट पे परचेज किया था. सो एज अ क्रेडिट परचेज था. सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू मेक द पेमेंट टू XYZ फैशंस. सो XYZ वॉज अ क्रेडिटर. अभी क्रेडिटर्स बैलेंस मुझे कम करना है. सो कम करने के लिए व्हाट वी विल डू, वी विल डेबिट द अकाउंट बिकॉज इट्स अ क्रेडिट अकाउंट, इट्स अ लायबिलिटी फॉर अस. So MS Fashions account debit to cash account. Why to cash account? Simple logic. मेरा कैश कम हो रहा है, मैंने पेमेंट किया, मेरा कैश कम हो रहा है, and the amount is being reduced. To reduce the cash balance, which is a debit balance, we credit the account. So MS XYZ Fashion House account debit to cash account. So this is what the entry is for the payment that is being made to the creditor. And on January 15, 25th क्या हुआ? मुझे पेमेंट मिला. पेमेंट किससे मिला? राजू ब्रदर्स से, मतलब उनसे जिनको मैंने क्रेडिट पे सेल किया था, सामान मैंने क्रेडिट पे बेचा था. सो अभी क्या हुआ? मुझे सिंपल सा हुआ, मेरे पास बैंक बैलेंस बढ़ा, मुझे पेमेंट मिला ऑन आवर बैंक अकाउंट. सो पैसा जैसे ही बैंक में बढ़ा, सो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट, बैंक इज अ डेबिट बैलेंस, बैंक का वैल्यूएशन बढ़ा. So to increase the value of the bank, we debit them, bank account debit, and to credit it, we did Raju Brothers. Why Raju Brothers? Because हमने उनसे क्रेडिट पे सामान बेचा था. So at that point of time हमने उनका अकाउंट को ऐसे डेटर्स दिया था, उनके अकाउंट को हम लोगों ने डेबिट किया था. So to reduce the balance from the debtors account, we credit them in the very simple logic. So this is what has happened as a bank account debit to MS Raju Brothers account as 10,000. And January 31st को salaries payment हुआ. Salary is an expense, so salary is debited, and cash में payment हुआ, so cash balance is getting reduced, and once the amount is being reduced, we are crediting the cash account. So the amount is salaries account debit to cash account, amount 6,000. Now if you see the total, यहाँ पे देखो टोटल में जो इनिशियल लाइन जो है वो इन टोटल ट्रांजैक्शन का इनिशियल लाइन पे बैठेगा, बट एट द वेरी बॉटम यू विल सी देयर इज अ डबल लाइन. दैट मीन्स द फॉर द एंटायर मंथ दोज ट्रांजैक्शंस आर बीइंग कंप्लीटेड, मीन्स देयर आर नो फर्दर ट्रांजैक्शंस दैट विल बी अपडेटेड ऑन दिस सिस्टम. There will be no further entry will be made. So to represent that thing, we update it as a double